In order to be clear, I'll just read my text. Okay, I'll be more concise. So this project, darker side of China's Tianxia 2.0. This is a response to what many knows darker side of the Renaissance. Okay, but I'll come back to my project. This presentation is part of my larger project, but here I want to ask several questions. Why does the discourse of Tianxia resurface in the 21st century alongside with China's so-called peaceful rise? How does it prefigure the Belt and Road Initiative landscape? What are the material, logistics, and technological infrastructures of the Tianxia 2.0? What are the driving forces behind this Tianxia perspective, and how do they impact geopolitical power relations? More specifically, here I want to raise the question, why has it unwittingly fostered the production and reproduction of the global underground rezones of the scam economy and the subsequent primitive extraction of labor with violence? Briefly, the concept of Tianxia, all under heaven, involves a system of discourse and institutions that Chinese states have applied to stabilize the legitimacy of the ruler's governmentality since the ancient time. To rule Tianxia means to obtain the position to manipulate the shi tendencies of all things and employ everything in advance to secure the production and circulation of goods and the stability of the state. Above all, the Tianxia system entails a hierarchical order implemented by the Confucian discourse of grand unification under the all-inclusive heaven and filial piety of all people to the emperor. The differentiation between the superior Chinese people and the inferior barbarian tribes is further enforced by the tributary system. The tributary system in various dynasties resulted in the emergence of prosperous tributary trade on both sides, along with administrative institutions, military stations, merchants, and forced migration settlement along the Silk Road corridor on the western front, connecting to Central Asia and the southeast coastal provinces of China, leading to the Asian Mediterranean Sea, from Japan and Ryukyu down to Malacca Strait and the Bay of Bengal. Not surprisingly, there were also illegal transactions associated with the tributary trading system, including collusion, corruption between officials and local wealthy families, underground connections with gangs, smuggling of goods, and the kidnapping of forced laborers. The mutation of the Tianxia landscape and its shifting boundaries bear witness to a long history of numerous battles among different clans and ethnic tribes, land appropriation, and associated governance violence. They demonstrated the fundamental nature of Tianxia as inherently expansionist and colonial, involving conquest, annexation, occupation, migration, settlement, and forced assimilation, as evidenced throughout the history of Chinese dynasties. From Han Wudi in the second century, which achieved the greatest territorial expansion, expelling Xiongnu, and other tribes, and establishing the route for the first time of the Silk Road to Central Asia. More than 1,000 years later, under the rule of Qianlong Emperor in the Qing Dynasty in 18th century, after taking over Inner Asia, eradicated Zhengzhou, annexed Tibet, Xinjiang, Mongolia, Qinghai, northern territories, and also Sichuan, Guizhou, and northern Vietnam, 10 times larger than the Song Dynasty in the 12th century. So the map, Tianxia map of Qianlong Emperor, 大清万年一统天下全区. So there's some millions of years continuity of Tianxia, okay, by the Qing dynasty. But that map has served as a basis for modern national sovereignty claimed by the People's Republic of China. But in this 21st century, there is a wave of this discursive formulation of Tianxia rising up, following Jiang Qing and Ganyang, the Grand Unification, and many others. Chang Sigong said, Hong Kong in 2010 naturally and necessarily should be a tribute of China. The central government should take up the responsibility and take care of the security and stability of Hong Kong. And Hong Kong should follow the dictate of the central government and offer its tribute in the form of obedience. 14 years later, Chiang's proclamation about Hong Kong proved to be true. Zhao Tingyang also several times elaborated his theory of Tianxia system. Tianxia with no outside, that is, the ruler of Tianxia will take up the responsibility for the world. The new Tianxia system is an institutional framework aimed at ensuring universal human security and shared benefit. It is an all-inclusive guardianship system of the world, 世界无外的监护体系, overseeing the world and so on. This vision of China's Tianxia system has materialized through a multilateral global network of the Belt and Road Initiative in 2000, started from 2013. But in 2023, Xi Jinping stated that the past 10 years have constructed a broad brush stroke of the Belt and Road Initiative, and now it has entered the stage of fine brush work, transforming the blueprint into a reality, expanding from hard connectivity to soft connectivity. As for this year, March, there have been 154 countries and 32 international organizations that have signed over 200 cooperation documents of the Road Initiative. So briefly, okay, I don't want to go into details, but we see that there are 116 overseas ports that is run by China. And there are 156 overseas SEZ, that is a special economic zone owned by China. Okay, and there are also the rapidly developing digital Silk Road has pushed the growth of smart cities and digital surveillance technology and illustrating the all-inclusive guardianship system proposed by Zhao Tingyang. In addition to providing a wireless and a 5G network and building smart cities and safe cities, Huawei also assisted local government in constructing surveillance system. Surveillance camera can perform racial, facial recognition, monitoring Uyghur in Xinjiang and elsewhere, or Tibetan refugees in Nepal. Moreover, China has set up overseas police station, overseas 110, practicing long-arm jurisdiction, and overseas services system for police and overseas Chinese affairs. And there are 102 points monitoring overseas exiles and so on. So, not surprisingly, in recent years, or surprisingly, we have also observed the peculiar phenomenon of the unintended side effect and dark corners of the BRI, much like the illicit tributary trading system that accompany the traditional tributary route. This includes not only corruption, debt trap, environmental pollution, and resource extraction, but also the proliferation of gang compound and their underground network involving bribery, abuse of power, tax evasion, smuggling of prohibited goods, human trafficking, forced labor, and violence. The byproduct of China's Belt and Road Initiative revealed that the question is not whether the BRI is a state-led project or a neoliberal enterprise. The promise of co-prosperity and substantial financial aid offered by the BRI have attracted participants from various local governments and private enterprises, both domestic and international, legal and illegal. On the complex network map established by the BRI, we also see deeper shadowy corners with these underground rhizomatic structures. And especially local gangster, local power elite, and military junta integrating capital through legal loophole and leveraging digital technology for transnational connectivity. Most state enterprises, SOE, are complex, operating within fragmented and competing domestic bureaucratic politics. Additionally, some private business operation engaged in illicit activities such as illegal mining, logging, trafficking, and gambling. Long before the bosses, the owners of the telecom fraud companies are mostly Chinese, primarily from southeastern provinces in China. Survivors from the scam compound said, either you'll become a top fraudster, or surviving and turning into a money-making tool within the park, or you are sent to a slaughterhouse where your organs are harvested and sold. And once all your remaining value is exhausted, you are buried in a mass grave. There's a report on this year by CNN in March. We've also said that the online scam compound in Southeast Asian countries run by illicit cartel have netted up to 3 trillion a year. That is comparable to the France economy, according to IMF, 1 year. So there could be up to 120,000 people held in compound across Myanmar, with another 100,000 people held in Cambodia and elsewhere, such as Laos, Thailand, and Philippines, and so on. Interpol said that what began as a regional crime threat in Southeast Asian countries has become a global human trafficking crisis, with millions of victims, both in the cyber scam centers or as targets. Long before the outburst of the scandal of the scam compound during this COVID period in 2020, the telecom fraud industry was already popular in some cities in Southeast provinces in China. In 2004, the Public Security Authority in Quanzhou handled 1,080 some cases of telecom fraud cases, and involving more than 3 million yuan. And there was a saying in Fujian that 9 out of 10 people from Anxi were involved in fraud, and the remaining ones is in training. So neighboring villages such as Xiamen, Anxi, Quanzhou, all became emerging areas for fraud. The owners of this scam compound are all Chinese, and they follow along the routes of China's Belt and Road Initiative. They also move when they are sanctioned in China. They move away from China to Cambodia or Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and later Dubai, and later Africa. The Sihanoukville Special Economic Zone in Cambodia was held as a Chinese model of China's Belt Road Initiative, the overseas economic Chinese overseas economic and trade cooperation zone. The Chinese population there is 250,000, and 90% of the business are run by Chinese. Convicted financial money laundering and drug trafficking criminals from China have gathered in this port, obtained their nationality and citizenship, and resumed their criminal business. Thousands of victims must work more than 15 hours daily, online crypto dating, romance, and so on. And they were addressed as pig, 猪仔. So this is a pig slaughtering industry. Most people were tortured with it, and also maybe raped or maybe taken off their kidney and so on. Okay. The others are just flip through Golden Triangle Spatial Zone or KK Park. But I want to focus in the final 3-4 minutes on my observation of 5. I think I skipped this Taiwan connection. Of course, it's important. Taiwan people sold Taiwanese to Cambodia, and the gangster and also were arrested. Okay, so the 5 observations. The first, it's all boosted through this upgraded technology of digitalized labor extraction. In this upgraded digitalized labor extraction through the scan compound in the 21st century, surplus value are gained through the automatic maximization of human extraction. So the logic of circulation no longer follows Marx's analysis of MCM or M to M plus, but there's a formula of V to M plus. V stands for the void with no cost and violence with no law, and there's no limit to the multiplication of capital. The second is that spatial economic zones offer this special legal zone for legal exception. The parks serve as a labor regime under 24-hour surveillance with harsh working conditions and even physical torture. At the center of this composite logistic network, no state can exert their jurisdiction. It's all in the hands of competitive agents. The third, it's compound capitalism. The operation have developed into enterprise model, including complexes with dozens of companies, especially through electronic long distance connection. The new form of park integrated predatory capitalism aim at fraudulent activities, especially in spatial economic zone. And local business utilize their digital connectivity through this internet technology to profit extraction and cooperate with criminal syndicates. Finally, okay. And within the park, okay, there are offices, dormitories, shops, entertainment facilities, shared dining areas, okay, brothel, barbershop, hospital, pharmacy, casino, compound. The fourth final 2 points. A very interesting phenomenon, Samoan supply chain. That is, it's like in the Pacific Ocean. Describe this entrepreneurial pattern, illegal practices outsourced and under the cover of the legal facade, such as enabling offshore companies on an island in the South Pacific Ocean, or and all small companies with title of marketing services, information corporation, customer services, and they can register locally in their through their governmental law. Finally, last word, port and border cities serve as a hinge of legal and illegal practices linked up. There's a network. Another point that connects the producer and the consumers through this port city. So this port city PPC, that is a port and park and city. So the city is a complex network connecting all different agents. But then the institution of the mediator that manipulate the market, the law, and the production of goods can gain more surplus value. So illegal practices are bound to occur through the legal institutionalization of the middleman system and spread through the Chinese communities in those cases. So I'll end here. All right. Thank you.